It's a Monday morning after a Ravens game, so you guys know exactly what that means. It's time for Overreaction Monday. What we're going to do on today's show, I'm going to look at all the overreactions I've seen over the past 24 hours after the Ravens took down the Cleveland Browns, and we're going to say if it is an overreaction or if it's not an overreaction, and we're going to kind of just go through the dialogue between Ravens fans since the game ended yesterday afternoon. Do you want to grow our flock, though? Okay, because we've been growing like crazy as of recent, and I want that to continue going. We're one big flock family right here on the Ravens Rundown. I need you to do me a big favor. I need you to share this video with some of your friends. I know you guys are in those group messages. I know you guys got uncles, cousins, aunts, grandparents that love the Baltimore Ravens and would love this channel as well. If you know a person that loves daily content, all 100% free, do me one big favor. Hit that share button and send this video to them. Starting with our first overreaction. This one I saw unbelievably a good amount on social media. Number one, Derrick Henry is cooked, okay? And let me just start off by telling you this right now, guys. This is an absolute overreaction. Like, look, I get it. Derrick Henry did not have his best game yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. In fact, he had one of his worst games as a Baltimore Raven against Cleveland. 11 carries, 23 yards, 2.1 yards a carry, did not find the end zone as well. They were stifling him pretty much for the entirety of this game, okay? It was impossible for him to get going. I do think some of that is a little bit on the back of Todd Monken as well and this offensive line, okay? I thought Todd Monken did not really call the great game against the Cleveland Browns. I don't necessarily think that Todd Monken and this Ravens team had a great game plan going in offensively against the Cleveland Browns. Now, the good thing is it's the Browns. You're the Ravens. You're still able to put up 41 regardless, okay? But I don't think that helped Derrick Henry out. I also think this offensive line just kind of got pushed around. I think pretty much every single time that Derrick Henry touched the football, there was maybe half a second until he was met by a defensive lineman or a linebacker for Cleveland. And I also think Jim Schwartz and the Cleveland Browns went into this game saying, you know what? We're fine if Lamar Jackson beats us with his arm, but the last thing we're going to do is let this Baltimore Ravens offense be balanced, okay? And so they said, we're going to take away Derrick Henry. We're going to take away the run. We're going to see if that helps us defensively. Overreaction number two, right? I see this a lot. 17 points only given up. And one of those was a garbage time touchdown. The other one was a touchdown that hit off Marlon Humphrey, landed in Cedric Tillman's hands. A lot of people saying this defense is back, baby. And in my opinion, this is an overreaction, okay? I'm really happy with how this defense played. I thought Roquan Smith played his best game maybe since the 2023 season. 15 tackles for him, 3 of them for loss, all in the first quarter. That's a career high for him in a game. And, of course, who can't forget that scoop and score touchdown as well. But it's the Cleveland Browns, okay? I think we need to tap the brakes a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on this defense being 100% back yet. I'm just not, because they're not, right? They showed some good things. Special teams made some plays. Wiggins got a nice pick, but this is a starting point, okay? Just like I didn't want to declare them dead after the game against the Buffalo Bills, I'm not ready to declare them to declare them alive against the Cleveland Browns. I think this next week's game, 7 days from now, Monday Night Football, I think that's going to tell us a lot, okay? I think what this team throws out there defensively against the Detroit Lions is going to help this team out a lot, okay? And I think it's going to help at least the fan base kind of get to know what's going on defensively for this team. Now it's time for you to tell me, okay? What is your confidence level in this defense? Scale it for me 1 to 100 in the comment section down below. If you're at 100, then you're feeling really, really good. If you're at a 1, obviously you're feeling really, really bad. Let me know in the comment section. Number 3, the offensive line is a big problem. That's the third thing I've been seeing, third thing we're going to overreact to. And this might be an overreaction, but it also might not be an overreaction, okay? Because you kind of got dominated up front by Cleveland. You just kind of did. I mean, I already mentioned it with every time Derrick Henry touched the ball, it seemed like there was a Cleveland Brown in the backfield ready to go. And that Cleveland Brown was most likely going to be Myles Garrett. Now, I get it. Myles Garrett's one of the best defensive players on the planet right now. But still, like Mason Graham, rookie, 5 tackles, one of those for loss as well. He was dominant at the point of attack. They just had guys flying around the ball, and it seemed like this offensive line failed to get a push all night. It never seemed on a run play that there was a hole for Derrick Henry to run through. It just didn't seem that way because it wasn't that way. And sure, I mentioned it earlier, Jim Schwartz's game plan might have been, hey, let's just absolutely dominate this thing at the line of scrimmage. Let's take away their run game, and let's make them beat us 100% through the air. And if that's the case, then hats off to them. They were able to do that, okay? But the other thing is, in my opinion, that this team should still be good enough to push Cleveland off the ball, get their run game going, and back-to-back weeks of us having to talk about different problems within the offensive line. We got to take a quick pause in today's video to give a massive shout-out to the sponsor, and that is our friends over at Prize Picks. Look, you and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out. Even if your lineup isn't perfect, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. And this is by far my favorite feature from Prize Picks. I'll give you an example, okay? This is for tonight's Monday Night Football games. I got the more on Baker Mayfield, 1.5 passing touchdowns. The less on C.J. Stroud, 11.5 rush yards. And then give me the more on Ladd McConkey, 72.5 receiving yards. If you flex play this, if one of these loses, you can still win that lineup, okay? I can't tell you how many times I wish that was the case in years past, but that's what's so great about Prize Picks. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. My fourth overreaction, the Jaire Alexander experiment has failed, Joey. Well, I think this is an overreaction, or at least I hope this is an overreaction. You didn't see Jaire Alexander yesterday, and I think that was the right decision. So now through 2 weeks, you look at what has gone on tape for Jaire Alexander. Everything you've seen is that week 1 game against Buffalo where he got absolutely torched, had a 29 PFF grade, and then in week 2, he's inactive, okay? So it's obvious that a lot of people right now are saying, okay, this thing's done. Stick a fork in him. Jaire Alexander, this thing's over. But in my opinion, I think yesterday was the right call to make him inactive. Because I think when you saw what he was putting out there against Buffalo, he was a detriment to your team. But I don't think this thing's over for him. Like, in my opinion, just wait till, and make sure he's 100% fully healthy. So if that takes 5 weeks, it takes 5 weeks. He didn't practice from August 9th to like September 5th, okay? He also hasn't played since week 8 of the 2024 season. So yeah, it's easy to think that if they rush him back out there, he wasn't fully healthy, he didn't really practice, he hadn't played in a very long time, that what he was going to do was not very great. And so I think it's important for them to take these next month and a half, next 5 or 6 weeks, rest him, make sure he gets healthy, make sure he has time to practice, and then get him back on the field, okay? But I'm in no rush to see Jaire Alexander on the defense anytime soon. Do you think Jaire Alexander will make an impact this season? Give me a yes or give me a no in the comment section down below. If you think he will, type yes, and if you think he won't, let me know no and tell me why not. 5, okay? This pass rush isn't good enough. My final week 2 overreaction. And I'm kind of in the same breath and same vein as I am with the offensive line, as this might not be an overreaction. They were fine yesterday against Cleveland. A couple of sacks. You had the strip sack. But in my opinion, guys, that's a Cleveland Browns team with a couple of starting offensive linemen not playing. You ought to be dominating them. Odafe, Oweh, you ought to be dominating them. Where are you, man? Where are you? You put on 20 pounds this offseason for what, Oweh? 1 tackle for him. Couple quarterbacks hits. Great. Quarterback hits do nothing if they're able to get the ball off still. Nnamdi had a good game. Back-to-back good weeks from Nnamdi Madubuike. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing so far from him in 2025. Really, really liked what I saw from Tavius Robinson. 6 tackles and a sack. He was the one that forced that fumble. Mike Green, I thought, actually flashed a lot of really good things as well. But, guys, this is Cleveland. That's a game where I want 4 sacks, 7 or 8 or 9 tackles for loss, and they just did not get that to me. Look, you're going to have to make that adjustment next week against the Detroit Lions. You're going to have to be able to pressure Jared Goff. And you're going to have to do it against a worse offensive line than you played yesterday. So I'm not ready to say that this pass rush, isn't good enough yet. But I am ready to say I'm monitoring the situation. Okay. Make sure you guys get me on social media. You can follow me on Twitter at JoeyPeterson8. You can follow me on Instagram at JoeyPeterson8. And if you're not subscribed yet, you got to change that right now. Hit that big red sub button.